Today's episode, we're going to be looking at the Canon 5D Mark II, and we're going to be taking a look at some of the settings, some of the basic operation settings like iris, aperture, things like that that differ this camera from some of the other DSLRs like the 7D and the T2i. Let's take a look. So first we're going to take a look at how to turn the camera on. Over here on the front there's a switch and it says on off. If you put the switch down and the white line goes up to the on, you'll see the screen is turned on here. For now I'll remove the lens cap from the front of the lens, and if you want to use the video mode you have to press the button on the top here that looks like a little camera icon. You'll hear a click, your top view piece will close and your front view piece will open. Now you have your live view screen here. There's a few things on the screen here that we're going to be looking at. All the way on the left is your shutter speed. Then you have your f-stop. Then you have your ISO. We're going to adjust each one of these. On the top of the camera, I'll tilt down here a bit so you can see, is a wheel, a black wheel. Now we're going to turn this wheel to adjust the shutter speed. As I do that, the image gets brighter and darker. Now, I'm not going to go too much into shutter speed right here, but basically for shooting video, the standard is 1/60th of a second, so I keep it on 60 for now. This will vary for what video you're doing, but this is just how you adjust it. So all you do again is you turn the black wheel up here to adjust the shutter speed. Next, if you want to adjust the iris or the f-stop number, this lens is a 2.8 L series, so right now I have it on 2.8, which is the most open it can be. In order to adjust it, we're going to turn this wheel right here. So as I turn the wheel, you can see that it's adjusting the f-stop number right there, which is at 11. I'm going to turn that back down. Next, we're going to adjust the ISO. All the way on the top, there's 4 buttons. The second one in from the right is called ISO. I'm going to press that button, and then an ISO menu comes up on the screen here. And you can use the top wheel to adjust this menu. So I'll press ISO, and then I'll move my ISO. For now, I'll put it at 1/60th. 1/60th is the native ISO for the 5D sensor. So now it's changed to 1/60th on my screen here. And you can see now as I adjust my iris on my screen here, my picture gets a lot darker and brighter. Before I had my ISO at 3200, which is way too broad. So you can see as I'm turning the wheel, I'm adjusting the iris. Usually I try to do everything if I can at a low ISO so I have a clean picture, and then adjust my iris as needed. So a quick review. To turn the camera on, we hit the switch down here, put it to on, you'll see a red light. Press the button up top to get the live view mode to show, if you want to view this for video. Turn your wheel here for iris, which is how open your f-stop is, how much light is coming into your camera lens. Turn the top wheel for shutter speed, which is not what we're shooting. It's not 30 frames or frame rate or anything, it's just your shutter speed. So I'll turn that to 60 for now. And then all the way up top, you'll hit ISO. Then the menu will come up. And on the 5D, there's a lot more ISO levels than there are on the T2i. So it starts all the way at 100, it goes to 64, but there's a lot more increments. I try to stick with, again, I'm going to use this top switcher, try to stick with some of the native ones. This is 160, 320, 640, 1250, or 1600, somewhere around there. Instead of some of those incremental ones, which are not quite native. And that's it. There's also something I want to show you called white balance. So the white balance is a little different on the 5D than it is on the T2i and the 7D. So to adjust the white balance, on top of the camera, one of those 4 buttons we previously talked about, all the way on the left side is the white balance button. So I'm going to press that, and then a screen comes up on here. We have auto white balance, and then a bunch of presets, and then a manual white balance, and then a manual white balance where you get to choose the Kelvin numbers. So I'm going to use this scroll wheel on the camera to scroll over to K. And then in there, I'm going to use the top scroll wheel to choose a different K value. These are kelvins. So for normal indoor lighting, you're around 3200. Outdoor, it's around 5600 are the presets. Now, I'm going to just choose 3200 for now, and then hit set. And then I can press white balance and it goes away. But if that didn't work for me, let's say I didn't want that, or the colors were wrong, or something was wrong, I can always do a manual. Since I have a white background here, I can just take a photo. I'll make it a little brighter here. I'll take a photo by pressing my shutter. I'll go into white balance again. I'll move it once over to the little flower icon. That means manual white balance. I'll hit set. Then I'll go over to my menu button, scroll with the top wheel over to the second red controller. I'll scroll down to custom white WB, so white balance. Press set. Find the image that's white. Press set one more time. Scroll over to OK, and then hit set. It says busy for a second, and then it changes. So now our white balance is set for a custom white balance, which to me looks a little green, as you see there. So that didn't quite do it correctly. There's many factors here. My ISO could have been too bright. The image was probably too bright or too dark to get a good white representation. So I will turn down my ISO. Look at my image, see how bright it is. I'll take another picture, go back into menu, try the custom white balance again, and there we go. Now we have a proper white balance. You can see my hand here is properly white balanced, and we're all set. All right, good luck. So thanks for tuning in and watching today's tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them on the comment section. And if you want any more tutorials about either the 5D Mark II or the T2i DSLRs by Canon, just leave a comment and I'll try to appease you as best I can. All right, thanks for tuning in and see you later.